Would you believe me if I told you Lacy started his career as an internet troll, or that he was morbidly obese, unemployed, and flunking out of school? Lacy, or Nick Fosco, knew it was time to make some changes in his life. He knew he needed to pull himself together, but how? This is the story of Nick Lacy Fosco, one of the biggest names on Twitch. But how did he turn his life around to become a millionaire Twitch star? It all started with a big risk. Lacy decided to change everything he knew and pursue his true passion. It started at an all-time low. Flash forward a few years later, and he has millions of followers across his social media platforms. He easily rakes in hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. Getting there wasn't easy, so we're breaking down every move he made in 3 big chapters, so you know exactly how he did it. It all started in Lacy's late teens, around 2018. Around 17 or 18 years old, Lacy got into video games and was mainly playing Fortnite. He started out on Xbox and immediately noticed he was better than more kids in his school. That Christmas, he asked his parents for a gaming PC to play Fortnite more seriously. At that point, he switched from playing with a controller to a keyboard and mouse. He also began competing in cash cups. It's important to understand that this was a huge lifestyle change for Lacy. He grew up with strict parents who didn't allow him to play violent video games. Not only that, but he was always more interested in sports rather than video games. This moment was huge for him. That said, he decided to start up a YouTube channel, but it didn't take off the way he expected. Growth was extremely slow. Lacy didn't let this setback stop him. While he wasn't getting anywhere on YouTube, he was finding a lot of success in the gaming community for his skills playing Fortnite itself. Lacy competed against other players and started moving up in tournament rankings, but things were still not moving fast enough for him. Lacy realized he would need a new strategy if he wanted to get more viewers. This called for desperate measures. By 2022, Lacy decided he would turn to trolling other streamers in hopes of grabbing their audience's attention. It wasn't something he was proud of exactly, but it did start to attract more viewers to his streams. A big turning point came in 2022. By then, Lacy was regularly heckling other players and attacking streamers through text-to-chat comments. On a personal level, he was miserable attending college classes, absolutely broke, and working a dead-end retail job. Then everything got much worse when he lost his job.
I got fired from Walmart.
Why?
Because I called off or just didn't show up every weekend to play FNCS.
Once unemployed, Lacy knew he had no other option but to go all out with the trolling. He decided to go after one of his favorite streamers, Clix. Leveraging his personality would win over his favorite streamers' audiences. He would use a similar strategy later on as well. There was one particular breakthrough moment when his trolling seemed to come to a head. It was December, and Lacy had been aggressively trolling Clix. The streamer had enough of Lacy's trolling and decided to call him up on Discord.
Let's see if this kid joins.
What's good, puss?
Yo, Lacy, bro.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yo, are you being dead ass right now, Lacy?
Fuck you.
Wait, how old are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm 19. Scamming piece of shit.
How the f am I scamming piece of shit, you mother?
All you do is scam.
Clix's followers thought the argument was hilarious and wanted more Lacy. This jump-started everything for him. The moment went semi-viral, and Lacy gained thousands of followers overnight. Clix knew Lacy made for a great guest on the streams and began inviting him back time and time again. This helped grow Clix's audience and Lacy's audience. The two quickly became friends and bonded over their goals. Eventually, Clix convinced Lacy they should both move to Texas so they could make content together. Lacy was hesitant at first, but finally agreed. They both moved to Texas and got an apartment in the same building. By then, Lacy was averaging about 500 to 1,000 viewers per stream, but he was starting to quickly pick up the pace. For about a year, Lacy's social accounts exploded, and everything changed for him. But before we get into that, we need to go back to his roots and see what shaped him into the person he is today. Lacy's government name is Nick Fosco. He was born on February 18, 2003, in the quiet suburban town of Erie, Pennsylvania. He grew up in a conservative household and wasn't allowed to play violent video games like Call of Duty. Because of this, Lacy mostly gravitated towards sports like basketball, but also played football. He got pretty good and even played for his town's high school team. He's even admitted that his dream job growing up was to join the NBA. However, as Lacy started traveling to major cities to play, he started to realize that he wouldn't be good enough to compete on that level. Instead, his parents wanted him to follow the usual route and go to college before finding a career job. Before Lacy dropped out of college, he was studying pre-law and was preparing to go to law school to become a lawyer, but he wasn't happy.
A year and a half ago, I was in college, studying pre-law, going to school, miserable in my life every single day. Every day. I hated my life. And then I started streaming.
That brings us to his current chapter as a professional streamer. While it may seem glorious, he's had many ups and downs along the way. After moving into the same building as Clix back in August of 2023, Lacy began appearing in more of his streams and started building up his audience even more. Over the next half year, Lacy's social accounts continued to steadily grow. It wasn't as explosive as it was before, but he continued putting in the time and effort, and he slowly started to see it pay off. At the same time, he was excelling in Fortnite tournaments and was starting to see real progress in the professional gaming world. Not only that, but Lacy also began connecting with other larger streamers, which helped grow his audience. Later in the summer of 2023, Lacy saw some real growth across his YouTube channel, with some videos reaching hundreds of thousands of views. A lot of this traction came from a few different strategies that Lacy used. One strategy was using Subathons to build momentum quickly. Lacy would stream endlessly and promised to continue in a marathon fashion as long as people kept subscribing. Sometimes this strategy didn't always turn out like he hoped, like the time he ended a subathon within 15 minutes of starting.
Give me subs, please! Please!
But other times it worked incredibly well. During one subathon, he went for 14 days straight without stopping the stream. He not only gained tons of viewers, but also received tons of donations. One donation was so big at over $2,000 that he even shaved his head. Little did Lacy know, the donor stopped the payment before it ever went through. Of course, that was after Lacy had already shaved his head. That moment got a lot of attention within the streaming community, with other top streamers sharing stories of donors doing this to them. Fortunately for Lacy, that exposure only helped him grow his audience even larger. He even ended up turning that streaming experience into a YouTube video that racked up over 200,000 views. The overwhelmingly positive feedback from that video helped drive him to create more YouTube content and find a format that worked best for his style of videos. Streaming during this time also allowed him to meet other larger streamers, such as CypherPK, Ron, and even some members of the FaZe clan. These connections proved to be beneficial for him. By that fall, he was averaging over 2,500 viewers per stream. But building that huge audience also had its downsides. Fans quickly started finding out where Lacy lived, which made his life dangerous and difficult. He was at risk of being doxxed and was also finding his personal information all over the internet. Once again, Lacy and a few other streamers all decided to move in together in a new area. That December, Lacy posted another huge video, which helped boost his growth. He posted a one-on-one Fortnite match for streamer Jinxie, but this wasn't the only major video that helped him at that time. Lacy decided to create an e-date video with a close friend, which his audience loved. That video's success was a major turning point for Lacy. Around this time, he stopped posting Fortnite videos and started transitioning his content to IRL videos and dating content. He created challenges for his viewers and made sure they were a part of the videos he was creating. After doing this for a while, Lacy took a trip with a couple of other streamers to Los Angeles. That trip was a big moment for Lacy. He was introduced to some members of the gaming group, FaZe Clan. Because of their connection with Lacy's friend, Ron, he was able to use their warehouse to film some content. The videos he created in the warehouse were some of his most successful streams yet. A blind date he did there had over 10,000 viewers, which was a huge milestone for him. The winner of his blind date series went on a final date with him, in which he received live coaching from Clix. The success of these videos made Lacy realize that his fans enjoyed his personality more than his gaming. While he continued gaming, it wasn't the focus of his content anymore. Not long after his time in Los Angeles, Lacy had another breakout moment. He ended up landing an e-date with Cenat. The exposure from that video took Lacy's Twitch stream and other socials to a whole new level. It also paved the way for another massive collaboration. On a stream one day, Aiden Ross mentioned Lacy. The attention from that shoutout led to the pair meeting up, and Lacy getting to participate in some of Aiden's streams. During this time, Lacy flew down to Miami and started streaming with other content creators in the area. He even met up with Darla Claire, who had gained popularity because of Clix. This was the beginning of a lot of drama and issues for Lacy, which we'll cover later. Ultimately, Lacy ended up making quite a few videos with Darla and streaming with her. Eventually, Clix also came down to Miami to stream with them, since Lacy was gaining even more traction. Lacy ended up with one of his biggest streams yet. He did a cooking stream with Darla Claire, Sadie McKenna, and Clix, which made them reach over 50,000 live viewers. That stream helped solidify Lacy's position as a major streamer. It wasn't too long after those Miami streams that Lacy came into his largest breakthrough moment yet. Through the streaming relationships he had as well as his impressive skills in Fortnite, Lacy was accepted into FaZe Clan. This moment was a huge boost to his socials and streaming. He ended up moving out to Los Angeles and joined the rest of FaZe Clan in their home as part of FaZe Clan's reboot. From there, he would create tons of new content and would collaborate with other streamers. But it wasn't all easy, and it isn't the end of Lacy's story. As Lacy began making more content with Darla Claire, fans began to speculate that she may have been using him for his popularity online to build her own audience. At the same time, Lacy was developing strong feelings for her and wasn't able to separate making content from seeing her as a genuine romantic partner. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. It was soon exposed that Darla had lied to Lacy about having an ex-boyfriend. However, she was actually still dating the ex, but convinced him to pretend to be her cousin and keep it all secret. All of this so she could keep building her audience from appearing on Lacy's streams. Once it was all exposed, lots of fans were on Lacy's side, along with the rest of the FaZe clan. However, Lacy was able to move past the issues and is continuing to grow his audience. Not only that, but Lacy has been opening up about his weight loss transformation. While fans have been able to watch him rapidly lose weight over the last year, he has been sharing more information about how much he used to weigh versus now. On a podcast, Lacy shared that at his biggest he was almost 300 pounds, but through diet and exercise he's gotten down to about 180 pounds. Most fans are excited about his transformation, but some are claiming he lost the pounds using the weight loss drug Ozempic. Lacy hasn't confirmed either way. Lacy has also become especially close to another fast-rising streamer. Of course, we're talking about Marlon. After meeting at the FaZe house a while back, Lacy and Marlon have been practically inseparable. They make loads of content together and have been using each other's audiences to grow off one another. They have even gone on double dates together. In May of 2025, the pair took Sadie McKenna and McKinley Richardson to Disney World. There has been some speculation that Marlon and Sadie are officially a couple, but this hasn't been revealed by the two, who are actively dating. Regardless, both Lacy and Marlon have seen their followings explode since hanging out and making content together. The pair are a dynamic duo who fans can't get enough of. Both of them are at the peak of their streaming careers, and it's clearly because of their ability to bounce fans off one another. So far, Lacy continues to grow every day. He has amassed a substantial following across all social media platforms, with over 1 million followers across all of his socials. Only time will tell how big he'll get. One thing for sure is that fans will continue to love him for being a troll. Except nowadays he seems to have his life under control. If you want to learn more from other streamers who broke through and built huge careers, be sure to check out our other videos. You can even start with our breakdown of one of Lacy's best friends and streaming collaborators, Marlon, and how he went from being homeless to one of the biggest names on Twitch. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more.